variety is really important. So balancing the combination of recipes is something I worked really, really hard on. And a lot of recipes, particularly in that one, never ended up in the book because it was too much.
Yes, I remember that.
That one was definitely a lot more just unleash the creative side and then decide what ends up in the book. This one I was more efficient and ruthless. The concern is I don't think I'll be able to cook everything I want to cook in the years I have left on this earth. Yumiko.
Yes.
Oh, Mum. Sorry.
Why do you call
Mum, I call you Yumiko at work because I don't want people to be reminded that you're my mum.
I know.
Okay.
Not that I like it.
Mother. Mum. What is the one ingredient you couldn't live without?
That's a hard question, actually.
You reckon you know my answer?
Yes.
What's my answer?
Your answer is chips or something.
Chips! That's like way down the list.
Oh, really?
Ingredient. Firstly, it's ingredient, not snack.
Oh, okay,
Ingredient.
okay. Ingredients.
Yes.
Oh, cheese.
Yeah, you might be right. But it's every cheese in the world. Like Parmesan, mozzarella, Monterey Jack. Yeah. What about
I think
you?
fish. Because every almost couple of days, I feel like I must eat fish.
Yeah, I know.
I must eat
You're
fish.
so dramatic. You are. You're so dramatic.
No, just the body wants it, you see, for some reason.
Yeah, but the way you say it, I must eat fish. So dramatic.
That's why I store it all the time.
Okay.
Starters.
Thought starters. Well, you go first because this is a little bit...
What role do industry awards like ABIA play in cookbook sales and recognition?
Do you know what ABIA is?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what it stands for?
Australian Book Industry Award.
Well done. It's a platform that gives recognition to authors that have worked so hard to write books, whether any type of book, whether it's children's books, illustrated, novels, non-fiction, autobiographies, anything. It gives a platform to, like the Logies, to give these people that have worked so hard on their original creations to get the recognition. And it's a night to celebrate that, I think. So,
how did you feel to be nominated for the ABIA in 2022 for dinner and this year for New Book Tonight?
I was a bit confused.
Really?
Well, because I didn't think that cookbooks would be nominated for an award.
For the first one?
Yeah.
The second one, I knew you would be.
I didn't think you should assume that because I do feel like...
But that's more popular than that one.
But like I said, this is the whole thing my publisher was saying. ABIAs is not about popularity. It's not a popularity contest.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a popularity contest at all. So even with this one, because it was selling very well and it had done the records and stuff, but even when I was nominated for that one, my publisher said to me, a cookbook has never won the ABIA. So not the cookbook category, so that was obviously different, but then the overall ABIA, because I got two. I got the overall and the cookbook one. Yeah. Overall one, she said to me, I will never forget this. She said to me, look, Nagi, I don't want you to get your hopes up. A cookbook has never won the ABIA award, so don't get your hopes up. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to just go and get dressed up. And I had that dress on and I just went to have a party and I started drinking champagne and I was chatting to everyone and I even had a little boogie and because I got told that I wasn't going to win the award, right? So I just had a good time. And then I won it and I was like, oh, crap, now I have to get up there and make a speech.
That was a horrible
I didn't have a speech prepared. I'd had too much champagne.
That was a horrible
because
speech.
she told me I wasn't going to win. So how do you know it was terrible? You weren't even there.
Because I watched the movie later.
There was a
videos.
movie?
Well, Candice shared with me and I watched it and I said, you didn't even mention about us. Who helped you a lot. It was terrible.
Well, because I didn't have a speech prepared because I was told.
I can understand.
Yeah, right?
But
But yeah,
I don't
because
understand. I don't understand.
I don't understand. Like
said.
seriously, there's a dog on the cover of my cookbook.
Yeah, true.
Like it's weird.
One person commented that the dog is not good to be on the cookbook, and I cracked up.
Do you know the worst Amazon rating that I have is, I think it's 2 stars, and it was someone who left a 2-star review saying,
Dog.
yes,
I know. I
they
read
said,
that one.
great cookbook, but, you know, it's a bit weird seeing photos of a dog.
In the food.
And I was like, oh, I feel like having a dog on the cover is kind of a giveaway for what's going to be inside. But yes, that is my worst.
But I think next
That's my
one,
worst Amazon
well,
rating.
that person will rate 1 in the next
But surely Joe's is even bigger on this. Surely
I know,
it's even
so-
more obvious that there's going to be more of him in it. So, yes. But yeah, I really believe that, and it's nice to someone else to have there's so many amazing authors out there.
one. That's true.
I feel very, very fortunate that I won it for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very unusual situation.
Yes.
So
And when I saw that, I felt, damn, I should have been there.
you just want to get dressed up in a
No,
dress.
that's
Like, it's so true. You know it. You just want to get dressed up. You
for mother to say, I'm so proud of my daughter.
wouldn't do that anyway. Okay.
How has our mother-daughter relationship influenced cookbook development? Don't know.
Well, it
really.
hasn't really, because you don't use my recipes, right? Have you
Well,
Have you ever cooked a recipe out of any of my cookbooks, except for the
Yes.
one where you were checking it?
Only one.
The one you were checking,
What do you mean
the
chicken?
Hainanese 1-pot Hainanese chicken in that.
No.
How someone had a problem.
I
with that.
cooked only gyoza.
Well, that's
Don't you
your
have gyoza?
recipe.
I know.
That's your recipe.
I know.
So you
because
didn't cook that recipe
because
because it's your recipe.
it doesn't inspire me.
My
Sorry.
books don't inspire you.
It's not me.
No,
Sorry.
it's not. But actually, Go has never cooked anything out of either of the books either.
Right. Maybe because we already know. And the point is, quite often I already tasted some of them because
That's true.
you forced
Yeah.
me to taste, remember?
Yes. But even if you hadn't, you still wouldn't
No.
make anything out of those books
No.
because you've got enough recipes of your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I prefer that kind of, my kind of food. Plainer, you call
Yes.
boring.
Boring.
or
Just
interesting.
a little undersalted sometimes.
Interesting.
Little underseasoned.
or putting extra chili all the
Just
time.
a little underseasoned. But that's the Japanese way, you know.
Yes, you don't want to
Just-
kill the flavor of original
We've
ingredients,
just got slightly different.
which you may
flavour
not be
profiles.
able to appreciate.
But one thing I will say is the palate that I have and the palate that everyone in the family has very largely influenced by the food we had when we were kids.
Yeah, that's
we just
true.
didn't realize it at the time.
Mm,
But now
correct.
that when we grew up and we're eating things at restaurants, even when we're in the 20s, we're eating food at restaurants and we're like, no, this is bland, it's lacking depth of flavour, it's all those things. We know that because of the food we ate growing
that's
up.
right. And also very small number of dislikes because I remember forcing
Yes.
you guys when you were little
Yes.
to eat everything. Never say, I never want to eat it.
Yes.
Because your palate develops and changes too.
Yes.
We were conscious of that actually.
Yeah.
And remember, we took you guys any restaurant we adult went, rather than separating kids don't understand, food. But that's not a good attitude. I think
Not
kids.
that we went to fancy restaurants.
I know.
Or you can eat Sizzler.
That's not true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And
Or Chinese restaurant
the
and
big Chinese
Pizza
restaurant.
Hut,
Pizza.
McDonald's, because there were those things nearby.
Oh my God, yes. That was our eating out.
Mm.
So it was mainly eating in that the palate comes
That's
from.
right. Yes.
Yeah. So
Good.
yeah. Okay. How do you balance your Japanese heritage with modern Australian taste? Well, I don't. do
That's a
I?
question to you.
Well, I mean, I really like modern Asian food. The thing is, I don't cook.
You
Japanese
don't balance.
food. No, I do balance.
You do?
What do you mean?
Because everything is wow flavor.
Yeah, but that is a lot of modern Asian food. Is
Yeah,
wow flavour.
But it says
So-
with Japanese heritage.
Oh, Japanese heritage. Well, I guess you see it in the I like the modern Asian food.
Well, I have to
Right,
tell
so
you.
you're
the
saying
fun-
I don't balance it. You don't think I
Well,
balance it. But I eat a lot of your Japanese
heritage.
food.
Because it's funny thing is that you came here when you were 3 years old.
Mm,
So you had some exposure to Japanese food and culture,
mm.
most compared to other two siblings, your siblings. But you are the least Japanese person.
Yeah, but that's because
Taste, palate-wise, the way you think, the way you behave. Everything's least Japanese, most Australian, and other kids agree.
Well, is that a bad thing? It doesn't
No, I'm
matter.
not saying
Someone
bad.
has to be the least Japanese,
Yeah.
and that's me. So
I'm not saying bad or good. I just thought it was quite interesting because you
I
spend
was
most.
Yeah. Well, maybe I
in
was trying
Japan.
to break the mold and
Yeah,
be as
that might
Australian
be
as
the
possible.
reason.
So. Okay.
Did you want to write a cookbook and pitch to your publishers, or did they come to you? What came first?
Oh, they came
I
to
think
me.
they for this
Yes.
one.
Yes.
But for second book, you initiated. Is that
No.
right?
Well, they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Well, because when I signed that one, they said I had to sign saying I gave them first right of refusal for a second one. And so they always wanted to do the second one.
I
and
see.
they were just waiting for me to say, I'm ready to do it. And when I said I was going to do it, it was quite late in the process to do it. So that's why it was a bit of a rush. It was always a bit of a rush.
Yes.
But no, I didn't pitch to any publishers at all.
That's true.
Yes.
How do you decide the theme of your cookbook and which recipes are going to end up in your cookbook?
So the theme was always going to be what I call my sweet spot. So quick and easy recipes. But then I always like to have an element of like slightly more interesting things. So there's what I call Sunday suppers in that one and bigger things in that one. So it's just like things that take a little bit more time when you've got, entertaining or something like that. But yeah, very much the kind of recipes that are on the website.
Yeah.
And then as I do with the website, just really trying to have that range of variety of cuisines and flavors and cooking styles and speed and proteins, some gluten-free, some vegetarian. Like it's the matrix for both of them. Like I do these massive matrices and I basically like flag every recipe with certain tags. So all those things that I said, beef, and not just beef, it'll be like beef mince versus like steaks and like slow cooking cuts. And so you give them all indicators and you just want to make sure that you've got a nice variety and you weight it towards things that people like. So for example, mince is very popular because you don't have to cut it. It's cheap, easy to cook. You can use it for all sorts of cuisines. So I tend to use a bit more mince. Plus I use it more in my life as well. You don't have to cut it. It's so good. You just open the packet and you just chuck it in the pan and like that.
That's true.
Yeah, whereas like sometimes you don't want to handle like a slimy slab of meat.
Yeah.
And slice it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically I do that. It's like variety is really important. So balancing the combination of recipes is something I work really hard on, both of them. Worked really, really hard on. And a lot of recipes, particularly in that one, never ended up in the book because it was too much.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was so devastated.
Wall full of list of
It was
recipes.
so sad. Yes, it was so sad.
But second one, obviously, you had experience in first one.
Yes.
So you know what.
Yes, I was much more ruthless on that one. That one was definitely a lot more go out and do crazy development. Not crazy, but just unleash the creative side and just make a whole heap of delicious recipes and then decide what ends up in the book because I was really motivated and blah, 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 blah. And then, I just found there were so many recipes that didn't make it in there. So this one I was just more efficient and ruthless with the development. But I think in saying that, I think there's things in there that are more creative than that one because that one is more
day-to-day kind of recipes anyway.
But it's also more structured in the way I approached it. So this one's more highly usable. I say that this one's more highly usable. I think people use it more because the recipes are much more catering to people's needs and wants and usability, very high usability. This one has slightly more inspirational stuff in it that gets me excited when I've got time, if that makes sense. This is the one that you want to flip through more, but this is the one that's going to be used more, if that makes sense. So they both got purpose.
Yeah, that's good.
But yes, a lot of learnings from the first one. Okay.
What inspires you to create new recipes? Is it a particular ingredient, a memory, or an idea?
Everything, anything. You know that.
I think people, but
a lot comes from eating out.
People want to know that too because some of my friends even ask me, how can you keep on coming up with new recipes? So I said,
I will never run out. Yeah.
So I said, why not?
Yeah, the bigger concern is I don't think I'll be able to cook everything I want to cook in the years I have left on this earth. Don't you think?
Well, you had to live long.
Yeah, but there's like so many things.
Yes, I know.
You know, and all you have to do is go travel overseas somewhere and you've got a whole nother thing,
That's
a whole
right.
nother
Yeah.
cuisine you want to get to know. So, yeah, from everything. I mean, you know the answer to this, but it's
Yes,
basically
totally.
restaurants, eating out at people's places, even just talking to people. You know, like Harry, you know, do you know he's Vietnamese?
Mm-hmm.
So Harry is a new, I'll just say it to the camera. Harry is a new kitchen hand who just started at our food bank and he's Vietnamese. And I'm very excited because
We love
Vietnamese food. So imagine all the conversations we'll be having, you know, about home-cooked Vietnamese food that you don't see in restaurants and stuff that you don't really find online very much. But I know that I'll get a whole bunch of recipe ideas from him. So, yeah, definitely talking to people in our team because we've got such a diverse team.
I know.
How many countries are we represented by now? I was thinking about
other
that
than
the other
Japanese
day.
us,
Yeah, well, okay,
everybody's
so
different.
We've got Aussie, 2 Aussie. We've got Japanese. This is just cultural background.
Yeah.
So even if, and
English.
then JB is French and Belgium.
Yes.
And we've got English.
Yeah.
We have Chinese.
Malaysian.
Sichuan at that as well, which is awesome. Who's
and
Malaysian?
Indonesian.
Who's
Sorry.
Malaysian?
Not Malaysian, Indonesian.
Indonesian. Korean.
Yes.
Now we've got Vietnamese.
Yes. That's it.
Is that it?
I think so. How much creative control do you have over photography and styling of the cookbooks?
Oh, well, all of it, because they're my photos.
Except for the huge ones, right?
Except for the photos of me and most of the photos of Doza.
And group photo.
And group photos. So anything I'm in is definitely someone else takes it, but all the
Food is
photos,
yours.
I take them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing though.
Styling of the cookbooks. I mean, there's a graphic designer, but I have a lot of say in how the look and feel. But now the publisher knows me so well. The second one was much easier to do. The first one obviously took a lot of trying to get there, but the second one was much easier.
But it's amazing that you are now taking beautiful, photography of the food, because I get lots of comment saying that about your cookbooks that photos are beautiful. All
really?
dishes. Yeah.
Some people don't know I take the photos. How do people not know I take the photos?
I don't know.
take them all on the website as well.
Yeah, but they do. They do comment that beautiful photos of food. And that's quite amazing, especially self-taught.
You know what's funny though? So professional food stylists would never style food the way I style it. They struggle. Like when I work with professional food stylists, what they see here is messy and not very pretty.
Right.
They would never style it like this.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. They just, this is messy to them.
Oh, so how do they do that?
So when I can tell flipping through this, I know which photos, because there's a couple in here that were taken by professional stylists. And you can tell, like this one, that's taken by a professional, but then this one is taken by me.
Right.
And the food is just, my food is, they would say it's messier. I describe it as more real because I'm not a professional. And I think that's what makes it real, because I'm not a professional.
Yeah.
So I can't do these perfect drizzles, and I never would, because it doesn't feel natural to me. And to me, this is delicious. This is delicious. This is definitely, like, stylists would have, like, cleaned up a lot of that. They would have been more careful with the herbs.
Yes.
They chose my herbs a bit. It was a very hot day, so my herbs were dying. But I had to take it while this was hot, because the moment you crack through that, the surface gets a skin.
Yeah.
You have like 90 seconds to shoot the shot before a skin goes on it, and then it doesn't look fresh.
That's true.
So I shoot very differently.
Messy surrounding is your style, isn't it? I remember when I brought the first book to Japan, to my relatives, and my brother-in-law said, this looks really dirty on the plate.
It's so un-Japanese. And it's so, the way I shoot is so un-Japanese.
Correct.
Because they would never
like
do this dirty stuff. But I look at this, to me, this is delicious.
Yes, it does. Yes. Because it looks real.
Yes. Yes.
As if you can just eat off the paper.
But this, I had to make this so many times to get that.
Yeah, I know.
So, because once you do it, it's gone. And if you don't get that, you can't fake it.
Correct.
You can't, like, put a cheese on it because you can tell it looks fake.
Yeah.
So this was like, I think this was the third take.
Right.
Yeah. But this is so delicious. It
I
is
can
really,
tell.
this is
It
slow
looks
cooked
delicious.
meatballs. It's
I
slow
can
cooked meatballs. It makes such a difference because when you like lower the temperature and you cook for longer, the meatballs are so much softer. Like I was cynical and then I tried it and I was like, oh my God, like the difference is phenomenal. So yeah.
I think we are into the recipe roulette.
Oh,
Take turns randomly opening tonight.
share a funny story about what went into creating it. Okay. Oh, I have a story about this one. Did you ever try this?
I think I have, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
it
really
is.
good. So there's a brioche pastry, and then there's a layer of potato gratin at the bottom, and then there is a brie or camembert in the middle, and then it's topped with like a French onion mushroom mixture on top. Yes, but the funny story with this is that I had Tom helping me with the testing for it, and by then it was towards the end of the process, so he wasn't at HQ every day. And so he was testing this at home. And what we were trying to do was figure out the types of cheeses that gives the perfect ooze. Because I thought the recipe was fine. You know, everyone had tested it, everyone loved it and everything. And then we cut it open one day and the cheese was so thin, it just went and ran out everywhere. Right. And I was like, oh my God. And I freaked out. And so what I got Tom to do was between him and I, we cooked, I don't even know how many versions of this, but what we did was we made it with all these different types of cheeses, different types of brie. And because what I realised is that the higher the fat percentage, the faster it melts. Like the thinner it is when it melts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's logical, right?
Yes.
So I tested it with, like I just microwaved whole brie and then I would cut it and I would see how quickly it ran out. Right. And then Tom and I both made versions of this where we got every brie that we could find at the supermarkets and at Harris Farms and stuff, and we measured it by percentage of fat in each of the brie, made it, and then we rested it for the exact time per the recipe, and then we cut it and checked how quickly it oozed out. And what you're looking for is you want that slow, thick ooze so it doesn't run everywhere, but you don't want it to be so stiff that it cuts and it doesn't ooze.
Yeah, I understand.
And so we ended up finding a range of percentage of fat that you want in the brie that gives you the perfect ooze, and consistently every cheese over that percentage would just pour out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
so the fat makes a huge, yes. So the funny story is, sorry, that's the technical story. The funny story is because Tom wasn't at HQ, he was making it at his house, and so he would Uber these to me. Yeah. So what he would do, because it would be like, what was the rest time on it? I think what was it? Okay, so it says rest for 20 minutes. So once you bake it, so it comes out looking like this. Yeah. Once you bake it, you've got to rest it for 20 minutes before you cut it, because if you cut it too soon, then the cheese is too hot. Yeah. And also the mushroom and everything is too runny. And so what he was doing was he was baking these, and he had 2 ovens, and as soon as he put it out of the oven, he would have an Uber waiting, and he would wrap it up in tea towels and Uber it to my house. As soon as it got to my house, that would be bang on 20, 25 minutes, and then I would cut it and test it. And so he was Ubering these pies to me, freshly made, just so I could check the run. So can you imagine, like, the Uber drivers, like, having these hot, like, and because they were piping hot, you had to put them in, like, heat-proof, huge styrofoam boxes. It
Otherwise,
was so
it's
funny.
Cool down too quickly.
It was so funny. So, yeah, that was a funny story with that one. Okay, are you ready for rapid fire?
Yes,
a quick answer.
Okay.
So, okay.
What's your favorite cooking utensil or cooking appliance?
Chef's knife and stick blender.
Yep.
What are some cookbooks that you draw inspiration from?
I don't use cookbooks.
So boring. Next.
Oh, sorry.
Except mine.
Oh, no. Aside from tonight and dinner, what are some other must-have cookbook on your list?
Easy. Women's Weekly Best Ever Recipes.
The one from me. Yeah.
Yeah, that I stole.
Correct.
What is the favourite gift that Nagi has gifted you for Mother's Day?
Diamond earrings.
They're fake.
No, it's not. I hope not. I've spent a lot of money on insurance. If you could switch places with your mum for a day, I don't know whether you want to do that, what's the first thing you would do?
Obviously, it would be the predictable stuff you do, which is golf every Tuesday and Sunday.
As if I only play golf.
Well, it does seem to like...
It's not true. I only
feel
play
like there's a lot of like
days.
the word, I've got golf.
You
Comes up a lot.
You just
Comes up a
don't want
lot.
to listen to anything else.
Can I ask you one question? Because I think it'll be a funny answer. If you could describe Nagi in just 3 words, what would they be?
3 words: bubbly, enthusiastic, and hard work.
That was strangely nice.
No, it's nice. You're really amazing, I have to say. I normally don't say that in front
No,
of you.
I know. Normally you just like
I only put you down.
I know. Like the other night when I wasn't
But
talking
behind
to you.
the scenes,
I wasn't talking to you for 24 hours
I
because
know,
I was so angry.
tell me about it. So, but I know as long as I bring up the Japanese breakfast, you will be changed.
Food always solves
Correct.
problems
Totally
in your
agree.
family.
What's your favorite recipe to cook?
Vegemite toast.
I know you eat most of the time.
I know. What's the one thing you're most proud of me about?
I think I must say RecipeTin meals you started. Because
Yes.
I really didn't know you had that sort of side.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a great thing
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, it's awesome. My favourite part. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did actually.
I know. And we
Time
didn't have
flew.
wine or food.
Well,
Which is a little unusual.
if this was gin and tonic.
But it was good. It was pretty
Would have been
natural,
better.
right?
Yes.
Like neither of us knew what to expect. But
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good. Awesome. Thanks, Mum. I
Okay.
do appreciate you coming. So
No problem.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
thank you. It was fun.
Thank you.